The cards. Even now, without opening this box, they reveal the secrets of the yet-to-be. I can tell you now, by the power and portent of these cards, as opposed to, say, opening the box earlier and filming an earlier take, but then because I wanted to read the instruction guide and talk for over an hour, so the CapCut app on my phone couldn't render the video properly, starting over with a second take this time, that the time afforded to us is brief, dear friends. No, I have not opened this box yet. This is my first time filming it. But the power of the cards, the power of their presence alone, has shown me what great folly it would be to make this video any longer than it needs to be. So let us be quick about this. The unboxing and review of the Neopets Tarot deck. A geekified joint. Yes. Opening the cards for the first time. Neither shrink wrap nor bubble wrap. You'd think that'd be in here, but this is the first time I'm opening it, and it's clearly not in there, so... Business card. Fashionable sticker. Velvet drawstring pouch. Yes. I can hear the cards telling me that they are heavily inspired by the Rider-Waite tarot designs. So if you'd like to play along at home, go look up some pictures of the Rider-Waite card, but pause the video first. Then go find pictures of each of the Rider-Waite cards. So you can compare and contrast and say, I see what they did there, that card, that's a clever reference. So, pause the video now. And go find those Rider-Waite cards before we continue. First, we open the box. Sealed with the power of magnets. A covenant between the sciences of man and pet and the unseen forces of the universe. The enclosed instruction book. Every card tells a story. And those stories are in this book. Alas, we have not the time to read it all. Oh, but look! See that a page has been foremarked. Surely the card detailed therein is of significance to our fortunes? Oh dear. The unmistakable warning cry of the Five of Swords. For this, I think we can make an exception for our decision not to read the book. Yes, I'm receiving a message from myself in the future. When we get to the Five of Swords, check where the bookmark is. Cards themselves, smooth coating, but not bicycle deck smooth. There's some grip to the finish. They're not going to go flying everywhere. Note the fine gold edges. The major arcana lead the way here. So let us begin with the beginning and the end. Number 0 or number 22. It can be interpreted as either number. The Fool. Represented here by what I think is the Bloomeroot Court Jester. I thought he was green. Maybe this is just one of the many jesters in the Merrydale Court. What about the guy from Round Table Poker? I promise there's grip to them. Number 1, the Magician, Saradar. Neopia has a lot of magicians, so for Saradar to be picked to represent the magician, I think this is a lot about Saradar as a wizard. Number 2, the High Priestess, Rosella the Bright, head mistress of the order. Originally the Bori mage from the trading card game. Neostaff said, we need characters for our Obelisk War, so let's take this one, flesh her out, give her a name, and now she's back on the cards. From trading card game to tarot card. Number 3, the Empress, Queen Fiora. Similar to Saradar's place among magicians, of all the queens in Neopia, Fiora is picked to be the Empress. It says a lot about her as queen. Number 4, the Emperor, King Altador. Okay, see what I mean? Of all the kings in Neopia, Altador was picked to be the Emperor. Not King of Swords, not King of Cups, but the Emperor. In the same way Fiora is top queen, Altador is top king. That's why he's the Emperor in the major arcana. If there were a king of Neopia, he'd be it. Now, does that mean the characters in the major arcana are the mainest and most important characters? I don't know about that, but I feel from the power of this card that it was a very conscious decision having King Altador be the Emperor. It's a very important card, very fundamental. And so a deliberate choice had to be made here. Now look at the city of Altador. It's always felt like the King's Landing of the high fantasy Neopian setting to me. If you were going to do Game of Thrones but Neopets, with all the lands that could potentially fit that setting, Merrydale, Lost Desert, maybe Shenku, Altador would be King's Landing. Number 5, the Hierophant. What's a Hierophant? It's like a pope or a pontiff or a high priest. So we've got Anshu, medicine man on the Cydric's gaze. I don't know if I'd call him integral to the Neopets brand. But who else do you pick for that? Maybe he needs to be more stuff, I guess. Ah, number 6. The Lovers. Okay, here we go. Neopia is... Neopian culture is predicated on a rich shipping history. A lot of people out there probably thought this should have been Hannah and Canric, or Bryn and Hanso, or Garen and Iska even. But instead we got Jazan and Nabil. Why? Because of all the ships recognized, Jazan and Nabil are the only ones actually married. Yes. Hannah and Canric, they're just having a good time. As sinful and godless characters as they are wont to do. Number 7. The Chariot. Another Cydrex Gaze card. Not bad for a logic puzzle most people missed. This time it's the Gaze itself. Of all the vessels in Neopia, this is the one that gets to be the Chariot. Chariots are usually like some kind of car or boat or something. And this is the one that was picked. Yeah. Hard to beat a ship that can fly. Number 8. Strength. Illison using the strength of compassion to soothe the savage in oil. You should really see the rider-weight parallels popping here. Number 9. The Hermit. Bukaru from that one Lost Desert quest in NeoQuest 2. I mean, he's not even in a desert here. He's not in a desert in this picture. Does anyone actually know who this guy is? Even among fans of NeoQuest, does anyone remember him? Look at the picture and remember him. He's not even one of the main characters. Or did someone who needed a hermit for the Major Arcana go looking for Hermit and Neopia and find him? Number 10. The Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Excitement, that one's a gimme. Number 11. Justice. Ethia. Number 12. The Hanged Man. The discarded magical blue Grundo plushie of Prosperity. That is so good. I love this for some reason. This card was meant to be. This deck was meant to be. Number 13. Death. Lord Darrigan. Like the card itself, people like to show their savvy by saying, oh, he's not actually bad. That's a shallow interpretation. But I will say this. In the Neopets trading card game, released after Champions of Meridel, mind you, after he had been revealed to just be fighting for the orb that was stolen from him, the flavor text for his card still says, if there is a source of all evil in Neopia, it isn't far from Darrigan's heart. When are they going to explain that one? Number 14, Temperance. Druida. Probably because the Temperance card is about delicate balance and mixing liquids. Number 15, the devil. Okay, here we go. Dr. Sloth. When you're making a novelty tarot deck, like a deck themed after something, you save the devil for your biggest bad. That's why he's the devil. Number 16, the tower, the obelisk. So much still unanswered. Number 17, the star, Sienna. But okay, get this. In GMC Sun vs. Moon, Sienna was the Sun team captain. Versus Lunar, the Moon. But that's fair, right? The Sun is also a star. And she's from Altador, the Sun Kingdom, and neighbor to Shenku, the Moon Kingdom. However, know who was originally going to be the Sun captain? Amira. Because if you're going to have a Sun rep, first thing that probably comes to mind is a really hot and sunny place, right? Maybe Sienna is better suited for the star than the Sun? Number 18, the moon, featuring the moon and the wise Nobu of the Shenku Lunar Temple. Number 19, the sun, Nuria, a statue in the 2005 Wild Desert plot, and only got to talk in Neopets Puzzle Adventure. See? If you're gonna have a sun rep. Number 20, Judgment, or Final Judgment, as it's also known, Judge Hogg. Number 21, the world. The world. Neopia, wreathed in an energy field with Mira standing before it, cornered by 4 Neopets, each representing an element. Muncie for air, Eerie for water, Cow for earth, and Kugra for fire. And now the minor arcana. Which suit calls out to us first? Yes. Better be coins, alias diamonds, alias doubloons, alias neopoints, pentacles. The ace, a colossal disembodied claw, maybe belonging to a Bori or Lutari, emerges from the skies to make a wish at the wishing well. This card usually means stuff like the first baby steps of a financial endeavor. And that's kind of what a wish at the wishing well is. That initial investment, that initial dream or idea. Two of Pentacles. Cincy, she's doing a jig, balancing or juggling 2 tremendous shapeshifter coins. Looks like she's in Meridale, but in the skies, the space station looms. Three of Pentacles. Edna harvests mystical mushrooms from the grounds around the brain tree. The esophagore stands by, probably wishing those mushrooms were for him. 4 of Pentacles. A nosh-o-matic on some rock just outside of Neopia. A buzz stands at the machine, pondering what's to be gained by spending the Nerkmed. Inversely, an alien Aisha ponders what's to be gained by saving the Nerkmed. Both are investments. Both are gambles. 5 of Pentacles. A Chambi and Terry wander hungry in Terrania. Behind them, a community gathers for the omelet, litten with 5-pointed stars. For one reason or another, the Chambi and Terry won't have any omelet. Six of Pentacles. The money tree offers a Kugel what we used to call a swag bag. Off to the side, a Jub does battle with the Scamander army. Ooh, 7 of Pentacles. Check this one out. Team Haunted Woods celebrating an early cup win. But that purple drake there with the wooden medal, that's Kraid Talvos. Before he became a Wraith and a starter for the team. Right now he's backroom staff. He's the water boy. A valuable member of the Haunted Woods Club, but like many in the Pentacles suit, he's got eyes on loftier prizes. Eight of Pentacles. Donnie set at his craft. Look how expressive his eyes are. Look at that. Nine of Pentacles. Telia cradling a snow bunny surrounded by a wealth of snowberries. 10 of Pentacles. This one plays well with the concept of inverted cards. 10 of Pentacles is the card of family security. Upright, we see Pound staff advocating for adoption. But inverted, the opposite of family security. The lost and forsaken. Pets without homes. Page of Pentacles. Zyra, who's an air fairy apparently, inspects a golden neg representative of a pentacle. Kari supervises. Both seem pretty excited. Knight of Pentacles. Poster boy of the grind set. The rags to riches story. A young Tormund ponders a future where he gets out of his small town Mary Acres farm and finally starts living. Life in Mary Acres has made a workhorse of him, so he is prepared to do what it takes to rise up in the world. Fun fact, he defeated the Werewolf King in combat. According to the flavor text on his TCG card, that means Tormund gets to be the new Werewolf King. Notice we haven't really seen much of Tormund lately. Queen of Pentacles. Now this one really fits. When I think of queens and lavish of material wealth as represented by the Pentacles suit, I think of the once Princess Amira, now Queen. And King of Pentacles. Who else could it be but King Scarl? Next suit we have Yes, I feel a cool, watery energy flowing. Gotta be cups, which is the equivalent of hearts in regular playing cards, the suit of love and happiness and pleasure in all its forms. But on Neopets.com, the hearts playing cards have negs on them. So I always thought that if there ever was a Neopets tarot deck, because hearts equals negs, then negs then would equal cups. But we just saw on the page of pentacles that negs equals pentacles. So who's wrong? This deck or the playing cards on Neopets.com? You know what? We don't have time for this. Ace of Cups. Marina, the Healing Springs Fairy. Two of Cups. Love between two is the most romantic kind of love, right? Here we have Bryn and Hanzo drinking before the wreckage of fairyland. Yep, no need to thank them. Their work is done here. Three of Cups, the party card, the good times card. Here the Hikalakas are lifting glasses to the high life, simply having a wonderful holiday time. Oh, Four of Cups. The Duchess herself ponders her complex designs for a world and the forces that would resist them. Her sway over Neopia. One of her crocobecks procures her drink. The Duchess is unconcerned with drink. Five of Cups. Bruno drowned in his woes. He's lost everything thanks to Crawley's patent tonic. Six of Cups. This is the childhood card. Jilly is a child. I guess it's about her unflappable optimism in Tale of Woe. Being so young. Seven of Cups. That's all three woe heroes. Sophie, who is not the hermit, is blessed with a wealth of options. Her Meowclops lies in wait to steal whatever she doesn't quickly snatch up. This card pairs well with the Wheel of Fortune. Eight of Cups. Belia, now newly grayed and wingless, says goodbye to her old life. These cards, I told you they had grip. Nine of Cups. The Satisfaction card, also known as the Wish card. The card of all your needs fulfilled, of all your dreams come true. Whatever you're trying to get that you come asking the cards about, this card means you'll get it in all the ways you could ever dream. And what could better represent a complete set of needs and cravings satisfied than a variety of cups of plenty, courtesy of Grandma Rue's Cafe? If Ten of Pentacles is the secure family card, Ten of Cups is the happy family card. The Rainbow Fountain is free. It's the quest that costs you. Marina and the Healing Springs won the First of Cups. And here's Naya and the Rainbow Fountain at Ten of Cups. Bookending the number of cards. It's like poetry, it rhymes. Page of Cups, also known as the Princess of Cups in the Thoth deck, is represented by Hannah doing her usual song and dance at a tavern. Behind her is Armin. Knight of Cups, also known as the Prince of Cups in the Thoth deck, is represented by Canric, deliberately following his princess in the deck and probably at the same tavern. Remember that Cups is the romance suit, and the Prince/Knight of Cups is the dashing, rose-in-the-teeth heartbreaker of the deck. Hence the movie Knight of Cups. Queen of Cups. This is what they call a double element card. The Cups suit is represented by water. Queens themselves are represented by water. So a Queen of Cups is particularly strong in the energies of love. Could only be the suit fairy, who still doesn't have a name. King of Cups. Tiki Tack Man. Not really a king of armies or riches. In fact, does he have any real authority on Mystery Island? I know he was in the Volcano Mystery, but was that just a matter of necessity? If Aesop sat down and started writing about Mystery Island, would Tiki Tack Man be king of anything? I think, if nothing else, he'd be king of the party. The metaphorical non-stop party that is the Big Island. Up next, light and swift, deadly even, gotta be swords, also known as spades. And here we have the ace. Ace of swords, ace of spades. If you're familiar with the Ace of Spades symbolism, deadly skill and swiftness and precision. So we see Meridell's Blue Boy Scout Duran, genius of warfare, holding his sword aloft, crowned at the tip. Two of Swords. Captain Three Legs and Techo Master do battle on shores furious as their own clashing. Three of Swords. You know how people like to say certain cards seem bad but aren't necessarily bad and are more complicated than that? Like death? This isn't one of them. This card is simple in that it only ever means pain. Illison's Blade, Eudora's Cursed Sword, and the Fire and Ice Blade pierce a symbolic heart. Eudora and Illison being opposing forces as much as fire and ice are, but also bound close enough to hurt each other. Four of Swords. The thief Kelland sits in repose in the Hall of Heroes. Five of Swords. The sad aftermath of Leisha and friends encountering their usual gang of bullies, also known as the Pocket Change Redistribution Committee, if the word bullies tends to offend. But wait. I do believe we foresaw this very card predestined for us in the good book. Yes. But what does it mean for us? Morris and his friends have managed to scare off the bullies, but at a heavy cost. Leisha rubs her homemade armor. Boris hucks a rock after the retreating foes, his heart still pounding with adrenaline and rage. Kayla curls in on herself, unable to bear the weight of her actions. A rueful Morris kneels to pick up their discarded toy weapons. Nobody feels much like playing anymore. The fight is over. Feelings are hurt on both sides, and you're left with questions and regret. Like Morris, you're left to clear up the mess you've helped create. It doesn't really matter if you won or lost. Either way, it wasn't really worth it. The only choice now is whether to try and mend the relationship or leave it where it ended. Leisha and her bullies were never friends. Reversed, the Five of Swords is a warning to choose your battles carefully. Direct conflict isn't always the right solution, and it can be damaging to both yourself and your relationships. Resist the urge to insert yourself in other people's fights and know when to walk away from a situation. Leisha, Morris, Kayla, and Boris all traveled back in time to Meridel and were central to the Champions of Meridel plot. They also all appeared in the Battle for Meridel plot, with Leisha as a major character. Leisha and her bullies aren't friends. That's strange. I am sending now a message to myself in the past. Ponder the cards, and when the Five of Swords be reached, look for the message the good book has. Six of Swords. The gaze once again with a closer look at the crew. Anshu isn't here, probably getting his picture taken for the Hierophant. The crew sets sail for new horizons. Seven of Swords. Valen the Quick, heir to one of the all-time blow-ups, makes his getaway from a heist he's pulled on the Snowager. Eight of Swords. Garen and Jacques find themselves bound by encroaching enemy forces, having boarded the Parquet. Nine of Swords. Really familiar looking Kiri. Where have I seen that Kiri before? Kiri is haunted by anxieties over the game of cheat. Count 'em, 9 opponents loom overhead. Ten of Swords. The Card of Ruin. Here we find the game's graveyard. Site features long dead, now deader than ever with the end of Adobe Flash. And yet, that is not dead, which can be opened by an SWF opener or Flash emulator. Page of Swords. The card of spies, messengers, and intel. I can only think of one other person this could have been besides Scout, lying in wait to get the drop on Ilana Skyfire, née Claymore. I mean, her actual name is Scout. It's not just her job. Knight of Swords. Wild, terrifying, destructive power. Lord Cass wields Gnarless, the storm without raging as much as the storm within. He was also every bit a match, if not superior, to the Ace of Swords, Duran. Queen of Swords usually means a cold, no-nonsense sort of woman, represented by Hilaire, seen abandoning the child Sophie to live on her own, leaving her a trove of weapons and magical materials that she used to become Sophie the Swamp Witch. I don't remember Hilaire having that wooden sword before, though. King of Swords. Now, if your name is King Scarl, you might be thinking, how is he King of Swords? Swords are about battle and stuff. Hagen has never seen a sword in his life. This card should be some great military leader, like King Scarl. But consider the meaning of the card. It represents wise leadership and sharp decision-making. Who in Neopia is a wiser king than Hagen? In reverse, it means a self-important blowhard. And again, who but King Hagen? And finally, by process of elimination, we have the clubs, the rods, the staves, the wands. If there's anything intrinsic to the Neopets brand, it's magic wands and rods. Anything that smacks of that classic early Neopets.com. Starting with the ace, Leisha, holding her wand aloft like Duran would his sword. Two of Wands. They say the pen is mightier than the sword, and if the pen is in fact a wand, and if you consider wands carry the fire element while swords carry the air element. Anyway, the enterprising Nigel ponders his complex designs for his portfolio. Up top, is Akifi Enterprises, bouncing wildly on the charts. Below that is Vending Limited, which is more or less stable but with not much payoff. Three of Wands. Governor Gabriel McGill oversees a fleet heading out of Croc Island. The ships are most likely his. Four of Wands. Shades of desert diplomacy. The leaders of Shenko and Tiramet gather at Castle Morocco to establish trade agreements. That puts Shenku at both meetings. And none for Darrigan Citadel. Five of Wands. The Card of Turmoil. AAA and Abigail are literally butting heads. Lulu has slighted Chadley's honor. The kind of disharmony that King Ruthless is poised to take advantage of. Six of Wands. Princess Roberta is hailed and heralded upon her return from vanquishing the darkest fairy. Solarian parades her around. You don't really see that anymore in Neopia. Unis being ridden like Winnies. That's more of a pre-Viacom thing. before they really leaned into the whole anthro/furry humans distinction for Neopia. Kind of weird for a person to ride another person like an animal. Seven of Wands. Raishu stands ready to defend his house. In the distance, Techomaster watches. Faerun and Lightbringer, I assume, are near. Eight of Wands. In Rider-Waite, this card is a bunch of sticks flying through the air or standing at an angle. In this card, we have Florin standing in a cornfield that kind of looks like the sticks. Nine of Wands. Tirana scaling the mountains of Shenku. Almost insurmountable. Ten of Wands. The card of overwhelming labors. Jordana ponders her complex designs for a very desperate plan to stop the Darkest Fairy. The one that will also end up petrifying herself and the entire council. Page of Wands. A Scorchio returns from Eudora's quest, but Eudora is lost in thoughts. Here's hoping her daydreaming doesn't cost the Scorchio the quest. Knight of Wands. Roxton branching a torch. Torches are fire. The wand suited represents fire. Queen of Wands. Maybe this one should have been Eudora. Maybe they should have swapped. But on the other hand, Calvara is one of the oldest and most classic characters on Neopets. Maybe she deserves the spot. And at long last, King of Wands, Coltsan III with magnificent scepter. What kingdom represents hot passion better than the heat of Sekhmet? Maybe Kassala? And there you have it, sports fans. The Neopets Tarot deck was executive produced by Geekify CEO John Taylor. Art direction, cups, wands, and portions of tonight's pentacles were drawn by Amy Schultz. Portions of the swords were drawn by V. Westfall. And the major arcana, along with portions of the pentacles, were drawn by Anthony Tiger Catcher Conley. Instruction guide written by Crystal Rice and Amy Schultz. And special thanks to you! Unless you aren't one of the Neopets community. But why would you be watching this video if you weren't? And what of the enclosed instruction book? Join us on the Neo boards for a roundtable discussion. Accommodations provided by the plotters on side events board 7. As soon as this video finishes uploading.